Hi, my name is Ryan. I'm the owner of Classic Shoe and Leather Service in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm a third-generation cobbler with over 30 years experience. Our facility repairs all leather items. Come on in. Let's see what we're repairing today. Alright, so we have a good video for you today. We have some Timberlands that already have some silver eyelets in them. We have the little screw posts in the top edge, and we have the aglets on the end of them. We are going to be transferring them over from the black Timberlands into a pair of brand new tan Timberlands of a different size. We'll take these out here, and we're going to show you this process. This is a rush job, of course, because I don't ever seem to be able to do these jobs in any kind of order where it's not a rush job. So this one is going to be a rush job as well, so we're going to do this job kind of quick. Because we're going to do it kind of quick, we are going to destroy the black Timberlands in order to do it, and it's actually easier to do it that way, in all honesty, because getting these silver eyelets out without destroying the boot is an absolute nightmare. And we don't like to do nightmares because they scare us. So you can see that the aglets do not go through the eyelets. They don't do that. I'm going to do it from this edge too. That way it makes it the most complicated way for my editor to do this job, because I use two cameras. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the laces out of the brand new Timberlands. We're going to take all the stuff off the brand new Timberlands. We're going to get them prepped. We have to take the eyelets out of the new Timberlands. We have to cut the holes for them. So I've done another video of these. We did them with some, I believe, some Nike Max Airs, and they turned out pretty good. That was a bit of a rush job. I think these will turn out even better. I've done several pair of the Timberlands, and they always look nice when we're done. Alright, so the eyelets coming out of these are pretty simple. They're just aluminum eyelets, crush pretty easily and come right out. Now you don't want to make a mess of them, so I'm just going to crush these a little bit, and I think actually the other nippers will probably do better. Go through and cut that, and then just peel it out. I'm going to cut it from the back side. That way there's no marring or marking on the front side. No damage done. We're going to go through and cut it piece by piece. The whispering and everything that you hear in the background is my other employees making fun of me while I do this video. I'm just going to go down one side of these eyelets, and I'll probably turn the camera off to save the battery, because it's really boring watching me disassemble this entire boot. But we'll get the point doing this. Bring it over here for the other camera angle so you can see this a little bit better. Alright, so you can see that that came out very nice. No marring, no marking, inside or outside. You can see it really nice on this camera. No marring, no marking. Everything looks good. Okay, so I'm going to turn the cameras off right now. I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of these out, and we'll turn the cameras back on and continue with the project. We have the eyelets out of the video. You can see we got a big mess here. We're going to clean this up. Get all this grass out of here. Alright. Workbench is cleared off. So next we're going to go ahead and punch our holes so that they're going to be bigger for our new eyelets. We have a 5/16 punch. You can see that right there. It's going to be a 5/16 punch. Hole punch. Looking beautiful. Alright. Right here. And we are not going to punch the top two holes because we have these nice little screw posts here. That's going to go in for our top two laces. So we don't want to punch those two. We only want to punch the bottom ones. That's going to be the bottom 5. Alright, pretty simple here. I'm going to move the camera right over here so that we can see that. And I will actually turn the camera on this one. So we have two views, once again, to make it really, really complicated for my editor, which he loves. Now it's important that you don't dull your edge. I've already sharpened this once. You can see I got a nice sharp edge to my punch there. Sharpened that earlier today. Center your holes so right where it's supposed to be. Very good. And that's all we're going to do. You can see that that hole is larger than the other holes. Just like that. Alright. Just go straight down the line. You do want to flatten out the lace or flatten out the leather here so that it's not bunched up when you're punching your holes. Otherwise the holes will end up kind of wonky. And you can see there, that's all we're going to do for it. Pull it back from the camera a little bit so you can see the whole thing. You can see on that one. So that's all we're going to do for the other ones. Pretty simple and straightforward. So we have the new Timbs. We got the holes punched all the way through on both shoes. Looking very nice. Got those prepped for the most part. Everything except for the daggers. So let's go ahead and start our destruction, which is the fun part. Yeah. Alright. I'm going to upset some people when I do this because I do actually destroy these. And it's a shame because these are pretty much new. I mean, as you can see, there's almost no wear on them. These probably have only been worn once or twice. Which is a shame, because I like Timberlands. But, you know, once again, getting these pieces out of here without destroying the eyelets themselves is just about impossible. So we destroy the boots in order to save the eyelets, which is the important part about the job. Now these come out pretty easily because they're just screws. So that's not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and set these screw posts back in there until we're ready to use them. Set them over to the side. Alright, got these out. Let's take these out right quick. And then we'll get to the real destruction. If anybody has a problem with me destroying the Timberlands, please leave a comment. I love reading comments. One more of these. Actually, I'm going to take the aglets loose first so we can pull the laces out. That way we don't have the laces in the way, and I don't have any possibility of cutting the laces when I'm taking the eyelets out, because I don't want to do that. Forgot about that part. So we'll show you how to take the aglets loose, which is lots and lots of fun. That's one of the actually more dangerous parts about this job. So removing the aglets, by the way, this is called an aglet. Okay, this is the end of a lace. That little piece right there. And it's usually a little plastic piece on the end of your laces. If you look at your laces on your tennis shoes or your dress shoes or anything like that, there's a little plastic piece or something like that. That is called an aglet. Okay, and that's basically to keep your lace from unraveling. Now what we're going to do here on this one is we're going to take this awl needle. This is the awl, which is the wood handle. This is the needle, which is the end of it. This is high carbon steel. This is very, very strong steel. It does not bend. It does not. It's very strong and all that. We sharpen it to a very, very sharp point right there, which, if you'll look at what I'm doing, if I stab it into my hand, it's going to hurt really, really bad. So I try very hard not to stab it into my hand, which unfortunately through my 35-year career I have done many times. So I'm going to try this time not to. But we're going to stick it right into the side right here, and we're going to pull these pieces of the aglet up, and that way we can release the lace from the aglet and pull it loose. By the way, that's how I know it hurts really, really bad, is because I've done it. This actual piece of high carbon steel comes from a needle that we use. I use this needle for a stitcher called a McKay stitcher, which is a chain stitch. and that stitcher, the needle that it uses, punches through leather. It punches through as much as 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch leather soles in order to stitch them. So it has to be very, very strong in order to do so. Now, one time, and only once luckily, I took an awl needle when sewing a piece of welt. If you go back and look in my videos, you'll see a cowboy boot welt video. I took that needle that is on there and I stabbed it directly into my palm of my hand. And that needle, with the hook on the end of it, which you use for that, got lodged in my hand. And it did not feel good. I don't recommend doing that. But if you do, it'll hurt real bad. And you'll be one of the few people that has done that. Unless you're a cobbler. Which a lot of us have. Ooh, that was almost good. So, let me put this camera a little bit closer. I'm going to bring this down right here so you can see exactly what I'm doing here, since the other camera is a little bit blocked by this. Here, and we're going to move this back just a little bit here. That way you can see exactly. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the needle and I'm getting underneath the prongs of the aglet here, and I'm prying it up ever so gently, because prying metal apart from metal is also a gentle process. That's sarcasm, just in case people didn't get that. Alright, we got the lace out of there. Pry this little flower piece back. Now see the aglet's nice and open. You can see that. So we'll be able to put the lace back in there. So now that lace is out, we'll go ahead and pull this loose. Take that out and look at this and see that the lacing is going to go underneath. That's our start to it. The bottom lace is going to be underneath to start. Okay? Remember that. There's going to be a test later. If I get it wrong, you're going to know, because I won't. Alright, we're going to put this over here. Or no, we're going to put it over here. Alright, so that one's right here. Let's do this other aglet so we get another viewpoint. By the way, if I stab myself, that will be the one that my editor chooses to leave in the video. I guarantee it, because he's a little bit sadistic. Alright. And pry those pieces apart, kind of like a little flower. And out. Very good. Opened up another aglet. Just pry that out a little bit. Very good. See, that's open. Alright. One more aglet. So far I've done really good. Alright. That. Very good. It's open. Alright. And we got all the laces loose. Very good. Oops. Put the tar on me. Okay. Let's open up this flower just a little bit more. Alright, so I got our aglet all nice and loose, ready to put back together later. Okay, let's take this lace loose again. Okay. Now for the fun part, the real destruction. Okay, so we're just going to go straight down the line here. We want to cut at an angle coming in so that we can roll the eyelet right out. Okay, you don't want to cut straight in because then you have a good chance of actually damaging the eyelet. We don't want to do that. We want to cut around the eyelet so we can pull it right out. And once again, don't want to cut yourself doing this because that hurts. And getting blood on the shoe while you're doing the job means that you have to clean it afterwards. And we don't want to do that because everything's nice and clean already. Go. And that is one eyelet out. So that is the eyelet that we're going to be taking out. Once again, this is nice, pretty close to pure silver. It is a fairly soft but brittle metal, so you have to be careful with it. You can't bang it around too much. And that's why we have to take it out like this, because if I try to remove it while keeping all this intact, they will break. That's just all there is to it. So that's why we destroy the shoe instead of destroying the eyelet. Alright, let's do that a couple more times, then we'll turn the camera off. So once again, we're going to come down at an angle. We're going to come over to the side of the eyelet. Thin it out. I'm going to come in and get underneath the eyelet here. Cut that material loose. Come back in with the awl. Going to break that material until we get it loose enough to where we can roll that eyelet out. You can see I can twist the leather until it'll break loose. There we go. So the leather breaks loose and the eyelet will just roll right out. No damage. Everything looks good. Every once in a while these will already be damaged. Let's see if we can find one. No, those look pretty good. Let's see if any of these have breaks in them already. These actually all look to be in good shape, which is good. That's nice. Some of them already have cuts in them or breaks in them or something like that from being put in the first time. And that makes it a little bit more difficult to do and to put them in the second time, but we've already got a good bit of practice doing this job, so we've gotten good at it, even when they have problems. And that's basically the job. That's pretty much what we're going to do all the way around. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take the rest of these eyelets out, and we will come back when we're done with that. Alright, so we have all the eyelets out of the boots, of the donor boots. That was about an hour and a half of my life, and luckily no lacerations, which is always nice. You can see there are 20 eyelets here. None of them got damaged in the removal, which is really good. Always like when that happens. So, you can see that. No damage to the eyelets. Switch over to the other camera. Oops, dropping the eyelet right there. Alright, so that did really good. So, now we are going to remove the daggers. And pretty simple. We're just going to take a pair of scissors and cut straight down. And then straight across. And do that to both boots. And then we'll remove the rivets from the daggers. Alright, looks like we already have one rivet missing from one of the daggers. You can see that. The other one has both rivets there. That's okay, that works for me. As long as the post is not damaged, it looks like the post is still okay. Alright, so you can see that the Timberlands are all kind of destroyed. That's what happens. In order to get those eyelets out, all of this gets cut up in order to remove the eyelets, as we talked about. You can see on the other camera. Eyelets are removed, but the Timberlands are all messed up. Alright, so that's done. These are destroyed. It's a shame. Wah, wah, wah. Alright, that part's all done. Alright, let's get these eyelets off of the daggers. We want to do that very carefully so as not to destroy the daggers themselves. Let's move this just a little bit closer here, or we can not do that because that camera just completely. Alright, let's move this one. We'll bring this one down anyway, because I think I can get a better view doing it that way. Alright, let's bring that one down, and we're going to remove this one very, very gently. Bring it down and remove this cap right here. Pop that cap up. Work it around. And you want to be careful about removing it because you don't want to bend the dagger itself. Once you get the cap off of there, gently remove it from the leather. You see the dagger is off. You can see that the posts, during putting it on, they get bent and misshapen. That's okay, we're going to reshape those. Let's go ahead and get the other one off of there. You don't want to break these posts. That's very important. That's why we're really, really careful in taking them off. Get your piece underneath here. A little pressure behind it. Work your way around. Just kind of do a little circle, 360 degrees. That's what a circle is. A little bit of twisting pressure. Pull it up. Get that cap to pop off as much as you possibly can. Don't damage the post. Got that to pull off. Let's work on the other one. Okay, so you'll see that this one, the entire cap came off all in one piece, whereas this one, cap popped off from the internals, and the internals were left right around there. So we're going to take the internals off of the cap. Once again, being very careful not to destroy the post itself. That's going to be a little more difficult, so we're going to go ahead and see if we can pull this through the leather. That way we have a little bit more area to work with. Let's go ahead and crush this up a little bit, so it will come through the leather without a problem. If it would be so kind as to let go, that would be nice. There we go. Alright, so take my actual nippers here, and we'll just kind of cut this away. See that piece that's around there? There, that way. Piece that's wrapped around there, you can see the difference in the material between those two pieces. And this takes a little while because you have to be very careful. Do not want to break this post. Alright, that was the little cap that was on there. That's the post left over. Alright, we got that all off of there. Now we have two daggers in good shape. Look like they're nice and straight. They're not bent. They look pretty. Alright, now get to the fun part. This next part is the most challenging, difficult, and the most time-consuming portion of this entire job. We have to now take the eyelets, and we have to take this ring that's right around this eyelet right here, and we have to bend this ring up so that it will actually go into this hole right here, because if you see, there's no way that it will go through that hole. See the hole? There's no way that I can get that to slide in there and set. Absolutely not possible. Okay, show it from this angle. No way that that's going to happen. It's just not going to. Okay, and if I make the hole larger, then the eyelet will pop out. So we have to make this go into that hole. The only way that I'm going to be able to do that is to very, very carefully and gently pry this part up and make this almost vertical. Not quite, but pretty close. Don't have to be completely vertical. Actually, I don't want it completely vertical, because then when I compress it and roll it back over again, it has a tendency to break. Okay, so we have to do it in a way that it's still somewhat conical. Okay, a little bit just more like a vase. So we're going to do that, but this is, once again, like I said, this is a little bit of a soft but brittle metal. So we have to do it really, really slow and carefully, and like I said, this is the most time-consuming portion of this job. And it's also the most challenging, because we have to go around this with these pair of pliers a very little bit at a time, over and over and over again, until we get it up. I'll show you each round. I'm probably going to do about 4 or 6 of these to show you how long it actually takes. On this pair, we have 20. On the last pair, I had 36. Okay, that is one time around. If you go too fast, if you try to just go through and go and bend it all the way up at once, you will guarantee to break this metal. It will rip, it will tear, it will break, and then you'll have jagged edges, which will break the lacing as he's lacing them up, as you're running the laces through, as you're using them. And like I said, you saw in the beginning of the video, the aglets don't go back through the eyelets. So you get one chance to make these work. Otherwise, you have to take the aglets loose again and replace the lacing, which is really difficult and challenging, and you don't want to do that anyway, because there's a specialized braided laces, and it'll just chew them up. It'll chew them up quick. Alright, so this is about 3 times around now. You can see we're almost to cone shape. Right there. Looks like we've probably got about 1 or 2 more times around. Yep, so it's going to be roughly about 5 times around is what it looks like. I always lose count when I'm doing them. can see, that's almost vertical. Not quite, but just about vertical all the way around. See on the other camera? There are two different angles. Alright, and we'll show you. It still does not actually go through the hole. Still doesn't slide in or anything like that. You actually have to put, bring it up like that. Still doesn't actually slide into the hole. It still is actually larger than the hole. So we still have to push and finagle it and put pressure on it to actually get it through there. And we'll show you that in just a little while. But I'm going to show you that a few more times so you can see how long it actually takes. That was just one. Once again, we have 20 of these to do. As I said when I was doing the last video, and have people ask me questions about why I give away the secrets as to how to do this job. I don't actually think they're secrets. This is just kind of working it around and making it work like this. And I'll show you when I'm done with these 4 or 6. I'm going to show you my hands. Show you what it does to your hands doing this. And the answer to this question as to why I show people how to do this and give away the secret as to how to do this and everything, it's really, really simple. Because 99.9% of the people that watch this video are never going to do this. Because it's not easy. Even the people in the business that are watching this business, that are watching this job, they're going to go, no, never mind. But it's okay, it's a fun video to watch. And I like doing this stuff. I like challenges. I think this stuff is fun. But I'm a little weird. Alright, about 2.5 times around on this now. Wait until I get to 3 and I'll show you this one. So that's 3 times around roughly. We're getting there. Okay. One more time around. Alright, that's looking good. Let's do another one. Went a little bit too quick on that one. So you bump that up. Went just a little bit too quick because I slipped. You can see, almost tore it. Got to be really careful. that one's up. That looks good. Let's do one more. Around. Alright, that one's done. Alright, you can already see my hand torn up right here. See on this one? It's already getting torn up. Hands are torn up there. You can see my forearm. Like that. I'm actually not that skinny a guy. I got a belly. So, I'll show you. This is work. It's a good forearm workout. Alright. I'm going to do the other 16 of these, and then we'll be back, and we'll start the install. Alright, so we have all the eyelets all peened out, and ready to go. They all look like this, as we showed you before. All 20 eyelets. So now we're going to start the install. And the install, let me get my tools. That'd be important. Be right back for that. Okay. Now we got our setter, and we got our rivets for our daggers. Okay, got all that. Cool. So, have our setters, and we're just going to take it right over to the jack and peen these over. Oh wait, no, first we got to put them in. That would be important. Do that first. Okay, so just going to do one side here. Move this one out of the way. We'll do one side, put all this in, paint them over, show you how this is done, and then we'll come back after I get them all in. So you can see that even though we have these opened up and not curled over and furled over like they were before, where they definitely would not fit in, it's still going to be a really tight fit. We want that so that they don't fall out. You can see that I can push, I can pull, I can do anything I want to it, but it's not going to go in there. Okay, so we're going to take our awl once again, very, very sharp pointed needle. I'm going to stick it into the interior of the boot here as a wedge. You can see just like that. Okay, and we're going to wedge the leather out and around the eyelet until we get it slide right in. Pull our awl out. And see how it's kind of in, but not all the way around. And then we're going to take our screwdriver here. Actually, we're going to have to take our awl back and get this to come back around. Sometimes it'll fit all the way around the first time. Sometimes it takes a little bit of finagling. Alright, very good. We want it to this point so that that eyelet comes through like this. So we're going to have a nice finished edge. You can see on this side, like that, and then all the way through on that side, but that is not done. Alright, let's go through and do another 4 of these. We'll go ahead and push these in real quick. So we're going to push about a third of it through. You'll see that about a third of the eyelet will actually fit in. 2/3 will stick out. We'll take our awl once again. You can see, stick it into the hole and just wedge right around. So we get the leather to work its way around the hole there. Get that. Come back on the other side here. Grab the edge of the eyelet and pull it back around. Alright. Now if you watch my other video with those foam tennis shoes, if I had had more time and it wasn't such a rush job, I would have taken actually and glued all of the eyelet holes all the way around and compressed those and let them set overnight so that I could do the same thing with these. But unfortunately I had a very limited amount of time in order to do that job. So I had no time in order to glue those and let those set, because technically I was supposed to get them done in 4 hours. It actually took me about 5 hours and 15 minutes to do that job, so I was late on the job as it was. But luckily, this gentleman is a very, very cool guy and did not give me any problems, and I got the job done for me. Which I'm doing the same thing this time. I have about an hour left to get this job done, which I will get done right on time. Okay, they're doing really nice. Get another one in there. Alright, beautiful. That's going right in. Very good. One more. Okay, so we have all 5 eyelets through the holes and set pretty close. There we go. 2 different angles. No messiness. Alright, I'm going to turn my camera here. So it's facing the jack. And we're going to take our setter and a nice piece of leather. And we're going to turn the boot upside down. And we're going to use the leather to protect the outside of the eyelet so that it does not get damaged. We're going to use the heel seat of the jack. That's how we're going to set all these, just like that. It's going to look beautiful all the way around. Let's go ahead and do the rest of them. Alright, looking beautiful. Alright, show you what that looks like. You can see all of the eyelets set very nicely. Set on the inside very nicely. You can see the splits in there, but that's just because we peened them out and put them back in. That's why you can really only do this once after they've been done the first time. Because like I said, this is a soft but brittle metal. It will split. That's why you got to be real careful with it taking it loose. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and do that for the rest of these. We'll come back, put in our screw post, and we'll do our dagger and do our eyelets, or do our aglets. Alright, see you in a minute. So we are back. We have all the eyelets in. They did very nice, as you can see. They look beautiful. Yes, yes. Beautiful eyelets. Alright. So now we're going to do the aglets, the daggers, and the screw post. Let's go ahead and do the screw post first. That's pretty simple. No. What should we do first? Yeah, let's go ahead and do the screw post because that's going to get set. Being indecisive, what should I do first? I guess actually we should do the daggers. No, I wanted to do the daggers last. Yeah, let's do the screw post first. Alright, got a little bit of acid glue. So screw post, let's make sure that we got enough room. Yes, we do. A very, very small amount of acid glue into the hole here. Just make sure that it's not going to come loose easily. You can still bust it loose without a lot of difficulty, but that way it doesn't come loose on its own. You don't even have to tighten it down with a screwdriver doing it this way. See, that's not going to come loose. Go ahead and set your screw in there. Just the smallest amount on the thread. Locks right in there. Very good. Alright, that looks good, doesn't it? Very nice. Oh yeah. Now let's do the other one. Two more. Two more. Don't lose the screw. Alright, that is set. Very good. That one looks beautiful as well. Two beautiful boots. Looking good. Alright. Now, I told you there was going to be a test at the beginning of this video. Let's see if I can remember. I believe that these started off under. If you go back to the beginning of the video, you'll know if I was right or not. I'll go back to the beginning of the video and find out. But for right now, I'm going to believe my memory is correct. And since these aglets are very difficult to get apart and put back together, I'm going to hope my memory is correct. And even though that is supposed to be the middle, see this little patch right here? That's supposed to be the middle. That is not the middle. As you can see, that is not even. Well, can't see. Here. You'll see here. They are not even. Look at that. Well, that's going to be the way that goes. Alright, so we're going to go with it. That is under. Let's place this through this way. That look nice. Do it again this way. Lacing is through, uneven as it is. See if this one too. Nope. Well, both of them are uneven in the right way. That's fashion for you. Alright, let's attach the aglets. So attaching the aglets, remember these? These are the aglets, the little flower that I opened up very, very carefully, trying not to stab myself, which I succeeded at. I've actually been really good. I haven't stabbed or lacerated myself in any way on this job. The job's not over yet, so don't get too excited. Alright, let's see here. That is going to go in. Very good. Press that as much as we can. Open up our contact cement. Get a little cotton swab here. That is going to make a mess. I do that every time. I really should just use the awl. And take the awl and fill up the chamber of the aglet here with contact cement. You can see how that is now filled with the glue. Very good. And take the aglet, or the lace, and stuff it into the aglet. I'm going to clean off as much of the excess glue that spills out as we can. And clean off our awl. Best way to clean off our awl is to stab it into the excess glue that's dry on the glue pot. And we're actually going to push the lace into the aglet really well. Make sure we got it all the way in there, nice and deep inside the chamber. And then we're going to take our pliers and gently compress each one of the little prongs as we spin it around, and come back. Do it nice and gentle all the way around until all of them are compressed around the lace. Don't want to do it too fast because you don't want to break the prongs. And you also don't want one prong pushed in too much further than the other ones, because then it'll be lopsided. And who wants a lopsided lace? Nobody. Nobody wants a lopsided aglet on their lace. Wipe off any excess glue so that it looks nice. Give it a little tug to test it, and it is on there nice and secure. And we have aglet on lace. Very good. We'll go ahead and do the other four. Same way. Not enough glue. Same process as before. Nice and easy. Push all the prongs together, not all at once. tug test. Nice and strong. Any excess glue, get off of there. And we have two nice aglets on the end of our laces. Really pretty. That looks good. Beautiful. Do the other two. Editor, you can pick which two you picked on the camera. Or which one? Either way. Once again, we're going to fill the crevice up with glue. Crevice is nice and full with glue. You can see that. I'm going to take the aglet, fill it nice and tight. Oh, sorry, take the lace and fill it nice and tight. I'm going to push the lace into the aglet. Remove any excess glue. Take her all. Make sure it's down in there really good. Excellent. Push that together really well, all the way around, not all at once. Make sure that all those prongs get set evenly. Clean off any excess glue. Give it a tug to make sure that it is set properly. And there we go. Let's do that one more time, one last time. Make sure this flower is open really good. Alright, so we're going to fill the crevice with glue. Clean off for all. Push our lace in there really good. Push that together really well. Make sure it's got a good bond. Make sure everything's cleaned off. Give it a good tug. And it is set. Sure everything looks good. Beautiful. Very, very nice. Okay, the last thing is the daggers. Now, The important thing about the daggers to start off with is that these posts are nice and clean and as straight as they can be so that these rivets go back on them properly. Let's take out a couple of rivets so that we have them set. Put them right on top of our chamber here. Now you'll see that these rivets, well, that one went on but not really. Kind of went on. They can come back off. That one won't go back on. Most of the time, after having been set the first time, they really don't like to go back on. So, see, that won't push back on. We need it to push on really easily. That one won't put it, well, that one almost puts back on. Alright, and you can see how bent and twisted that post is. Alright. So we want to straighten that back out a little bit and get it to where it's going to accept the rivet without too much difficulty. So we're going to take our pliers, our needle nose here, we're going to very, very gently shape this back to where it's a little bit straighter and a little bit narrower so that it will accept the rivet without a problem. I'm going to test each one of them as we go. That one's pretty close, need a little bit more. And we want to be really careful that we do not break this post. Because if we break the post, the dagger is kind of ruined. I'd have to take it to a jeweler and get a new post soldered on. Because I don't do soldering. I do, but I'm just not as good at it as I am with other stuff. I do soldering for, you know, like wiring, not for big jobs like this. So, things solder wires together for my car, things like that. Oh, there we go. Alright, that one's good. We're going to do the same thing for the other four posts, or the other three posts, sorry. There we go. That one went on. It's a little bit of a tight fit, so we're going to do that just a little bit more. Because I want it to be a really easy fit. Alright, beautiful. Do that again. Once again, Mr. Editor, you can choose which one you want to put on here. So we're going to make these posts nice and circular, straight up and down, so that the rivet fits on them really nice. You can see that I'm just kind of rolling that around a little bit. Pretty gentle in all honesty. Don't want to break this post. Definitely don't want to break the post. I also don't want to bend the dagger while I'm doing this by pushing or pulling too hard. That went right on. Excellent. A little bit of a burr right on top. Straighten that out. Alright, let's Do it again to the front post. That's not quite there. Almost there. Again, you got to be kind of forceful, but you got to be careful. Don't want to break this post. And it went on. Very nice. Okay. Next we are going to set the daggers. So what we're going to do here is we're going to mark our holes. So the daggers go roughly to where the top of the dagger lines up with a stitch line right here. Now I'm going to be pretty specific because I'm going to put one dagger to the right shoe and one dagger to the left shoe, and I do not want to get them confused because the posts are actually not the same for each one. Alright, that's my right side dagger, and you can see I made a little mark with pencil. And made a little mark on my left side. As you can see that one. I can do it on this camera. Looks like the light's better on this camera. Alright. Left side, right side. Okay, let me get my punch set again. There we go. Alright. We got a punch. We got this. Alright. Bring my camera down here again. To our jack stand. And we're just going to turn this around. Through here so that we have some protection for our punch. And we're going to punch our holes where our marks are. Pretty simple and straightforward. two beautiful holes. That's our right boot. Let's go ahead and do our left boot. Excellent. All right, and camera goes back up. Now let's make sure our daggers fit where they're supposed to. And they do. And are right below the stitch line, just like they're supposed to. Right below the stitch line, just like they're supposed to. Very good. All right. We got our acid glue. Let me go ahead and grab some clamps. Some big clamps. Got a couple pieces of leather there. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to fill up our rivet caps with a little bit of glue, because I don't actually want to tap on these daggers, and it won't matter anyway because they're not really going to set very well. So we're going to fill them up with glue, and we're going to set them inside, and we're going to clamp them and let them set and dry. The trick to this is make sure you actually fill these up with glue, because you can get them to look like they're full, but it'll only just kind of look like it. That's why. There we go. That one's on. Alright, both posts are on. That's too wide a piece. Let's do this one. Even that's too wide a piece. Let's do Stick that in there right here. And we're going to clamp this on. Good. That one will set. Let's do the other one. Alright, and that one is set. Just cut a piece and put that on there. Alright, that's going to dry very nicely. And that is the job. Take this off real quick and show you that should be set by now. Pretty well set. I'll clamp it again just to make sure, but that shows you that's on there. That's on there. The aglets are on. The eyelets are on. You can see it from the other camera angle. Eyelets are on. Screw posts are on. Aglets are on. Dagger is on. Everything looks good. It did very nice. And I'm 5 minutes ahead of schedule. Oh yeah? For a 4.5 hour long job, that's not bad. I'm going to set that again. That way it dries for the next 5 minutes. And we are done. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please join us again for another video. And I hope you enjoy your day or evening or afternoon or whenever you're watching this. Come on again. Thank you. Bye.